Hey there, beautiful people. Good afternoon from Dhaka, Bangladesh. I always say morning, afternoon from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Time it's around almost 2 p.m. It's a sunny, bright, blue skies day, kind of day with kind of mild breeze going on, mild cool breeze. And then after 5 to 6 p.m., it starts getting a little bit cooler in a way. Okay. So I already have done two videos. One is a sporty fragrance for this kind of time of the year. Another one is a fragrance called Sarah Jessica Parker Stash. This is a masterpiece of a fragrance. Check out the review. I was so impressed by that one. Okay. So third episode, it's a bonus episode. I didn't want to do this, but I thought of, like it's a good day. I'm in a good mood, let's do a video, a morning thoughts episode, but this is going to be regarding fragrances. Okay. And I want to discuss a couple of things very important. Perhaps it's something people, discussed before, but it's important for you to know. So today's topic, I'm going to keep it like a topic title. People may get confused, but I will still keep it the same way just to get people's interest. That's going to be do not buy cheap fragrances. Okay. And when I say that, most of you will think like I am promoting expensive, luxurious fragrances, and the fragrances which are affordable. I'm saying to you, do not buy them. No, it's let's hear me out. Okay, I personally do buy like many kind of fragrances, designer, niche, um, clones. Sorry, and then Middle Eastern fragrances. Yeah, sorry, the voice disturbing. Okay, so I'm not a person who will typically tell you do not buy colognes which are cheap. That's not what I'm indicating at. I'm indicating at fragrances which are on clearance sale. Okay, hear me out, and this is very interesting. Many places, like some of the shops sometimes gives end of the year uh, like clearance sale, like some of the stores like in states. I heard TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls, this kind of places. Even in Walmart, I heard fragrances are being sold for very cheap, 50% off, 80% off, and many people seem to like it and buy it. But there could be a downside to that. I'm not saying 100%, but hear me out. When you see something cheap in Bangladesh, we have this concept that if something can be available for cheap, the quality can be questionable, because whatever can be obtained for cheap, the quality also will be cheap. This is like a common understanding, but it's not always true. Sometimes you can get good quality for cheap price. But I heard this from some shop attendants, like like if you go to certain retail place, you'll see like they will tell you, brother, do not buy the ones that have 70% off. If you want, you can go for them, but in general, avoid those. I said, why? They said it's like confidential thing which they don't reveal to customers. That is, some fragrances which are about to be expired, then they had to let it go. They just let it go for very cheap. You might find like, oh, it's so cheap, like it used to be $80, now I can get it for $30, and you get it. Many times fragrances do not usually expire after 3 to 5 years. They stay fine, but with time some fragrances lose color. From purple they become brown. You have seen that, right? But it sometimes increases the performance of a fragrance, but at the same time destroys the top note. Sometimes the fragrance gets ruined, even being intact inside the box and poly, like that plastic. After the time is expired, some fragrances, due to certain reasons, they sort of go bad. The shelf life gets finished, and that's so what happens is you end up buying a fragrance which will expire very quickly or already expired. So at times, when you buy that cheap cologne, you think like you have like won a lottery or something. But if you are in bad luck, or if you're out of luck, the fragrance may be spoiled, or very soon will be spoiled. Another thing is, if you have a fragrance bottle, I heard this from our senior reviewers, which is more empty inside than full. Okay, let's say, which example I can give you. Okay, let's say this one is not all the way full, or the more juice than air inside, right? So in the Sean John 3M bottle, but let's say this juice is like about here, like here where I pointed, and then this whole thing is air. High likely your fragrance will go bad if you don't reach for it. If it's kept even in a cool dark place, it can go bad because of the air inside. It will ruin the perfume. So there are a lot of theories, we heard if you let a fragrance sit in your collection, it macerates and get better, stronger. But some people also say if you keep a fragrance in direct sunlight, it breaks the particles, and then they sort of like make the fragrance a next level, like a beast, which I never really understood how it works. But there are theories. But here is the thing: for me, to be in the safe side, on the safe side, avoid the fragrance deals which are too good to be true. Okay, in certain pages they offer fragrances for very cheap. Some websites sell it for very cheap, and you'll see like some designer perfumes which are being sold like Man in Black nowadays 120 $150. If someone's selling for $20 or Bleu de Chanel for $50, and if you're tempted, I know many of you are very smart, but some of you are not. Okay, you are naive or you are new, so you think like, hey, you get greedy. That's the term I'll just use. You get greedy. I have done that, so I've been greedy too. So I suffered. So I saw certain places like certain market is selling like a vintage, for example, like sometimes I saw a fragrance. I bought it for a very cheap price. And I thought like, wow, lottery. Came back home, opened the packaging once again, and you see the batch code, they don't match. The juice, they don't match. The cap doesn't match. And these little mistakes cost you like $20 here, $30 there, and you end up losing money. If you buy a fake, even if it's $10, it's a loss because it's not real, it's not original product. If you buy a Creed Aventus for $100, okay, and you think like, hey, everybody's a fool. I got like 120 mil version for $100, and then I'm the smart one. I can write it down. Out of those 100, odds would be 99. It's all fake, so the odds are not going to be in your side. So $100 you might feel is cheap. I'm calling it cheap, but yes, for a Creed Aventus, it's not going to be, especially if it's 120 mil, it's sold for $3,000 at certain markets. So um, I don't know. Like in general, our experiences are a fragrance has its value. If you look in the market, if it's not the same as where people are offering for cheap deal, avoid that deal. Okay, Bulgari Man in Black at this moment, if someone's selling for $30 $40, it's not possible. Even back in the days, it used to be sold for $45 minimum, right? When it was just available in market. So that's why I say avoid buying cheap cologne. So it doesn't mean do not buy fragrances like Latafa or these Arabian houses. They are original, brand new. So try to buy the first batch when something is released. So you'll get like, let's say, for example, Hawas Ice. This is still first batch, just recently released. After 1 to 2 years, this will be reformulated for sure. And then the juice will not be as potent. So if you have this, the first batch, right? For example, any fragrance, you are with the best batch possible. They put the maximum amount of oil. In future, it's highly unlikely they're going to ever make it potent. Okay, they'll never make it stronger. They will make it only weaker, and they'll release a flanker, and they will say this is intense, this is EDP, this is a Parfum, and then give us $30 more, $40 more, half, double the price, and that's how businesses go. It's that's how it is, sadly. So there are certain houses who have like really good how to say, what's the word, ethics, like they are like reformulated, people say, or change the packaging, but the reformulations are not so bad. It's almost the same, like certain, I don't remember which fragrances, someone told me like some fragrances they changed, but it stays almost the same as the old batches, vintage batches, which is a good thing. Maybe those fragrances do not sell so well, but respect to them, right? So keep in mind those factors before buying a cologne. Second thing, it's a very discussed it before, but I will discuss it again. uh, should you be buying fragrances based on hype? What is hype, and how much relatable or trustworthy these fragrance reviewers are, including me. And when I say me, I am part of the fragrance reviewing community. There are hundreds of reviewers right now. We have a huge community, and we have to be proud of it because the game is spreading like a wildfire, and it's the passion is being spread everywhere. People are using colognes, watching reviews, getting excited, trying out, sniffing out fragrances. It became kind of like a sport and a hobby, right? So, uh, which reviewers to trust? It's totally up to you. You're not gonna like everybody. You can like me, you cannot like someone else. Then maybe you may like a fragrance reviewer from States, but you may not like Asian reviewers, because you think like those people know better. So this is a thing that you believe. So it's always about a freedom, independence. What you like is what you like. Nobody should tell you what you should eat, what you should buy. It's always the free will. Like people have a right to choose from their own like place, right? That's the beauty of the game. That's the only time you'll find the game interesting. Like you did it with your own commitment. Okay, so that's the ultimate solution. But reviewers sometimes do these fragrance reviews, and you see a brand new fragrance being revealed or presented from any house, and you feel like hyped up and you just get excited. That's how the excitement works. admit it or not, this is how it works, right? You know it. You wake up and see, wow, Lalik released a new one, okay, from Uncrenoir line or something, and you get immediately hyped up. And this is coming from you, okay? So this is the quest, in quest or in search of something new, brand new. That's what keeps the interest going. Every month, maybe a magazine publishes a brand new edition, January, February, March. You always wait for it, the next edition. And let's say band, they're releasing a new album after 5 6 years. Let's say Backstreet Boys comes up with a new album. You will be excited for it, right? Because you're a big fan of the previous one. So we are fans. We are users. We are fans of fragrances, and this is what keeps the game going, the interest. So people interest is very, very huge. So when certain people can control the temptation of buying everything, they just buy selective ones, whichever they feel are worth it, they like it, regardless of brand or price. But there are certain people who love the whole collection, whole line. Like, I bought every single Creeds, I bought every single Parfum de Marly, right? So there are different kind of collectors. But how much is the hype working? It's always, in the end, it's your say, right? If you are influenced by someone, you should not blame others. Like, they didn't make you buy the fragrance. You trusted on them, and it didn't work with you because maybe your taste is different, your weather condition is different, maybe your preference is different, your scent profile choices are different. A lot of things vary or matter. So in that, for the solution, I'll tell you, always get like small official samples. When you buy a fragrance, shopping malls give you sometimes for free 3 4 samples. As for a sample, like, I want to try the latest fragrance, and you use it, you'll know after using the sample if you like it or not, if it's performing as per your satisfaction point or not. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If the price is too high, don't buy it, right? But blaming community or other reviewers, it actually is very childish thing, okay? Many people go like, hey, this reviewer is always about hyping a fragrance, he is like promoting a brand, but he did not actually force you to buy something or scam you, right? So if a reviewer is not giving a, you feel honest opinion, or he is kind of lying, perhaps avoid the reviewer. Simple as that. You can just go to the market, you can be the best judge of fragrances, right? That's the only thing I can tell you. And always spray it on yourself. You cannot tell from reviews how's food tasting, like a beef Wellington. You see it, Gordon Ramsay makes it. Is it tasty? Maybe to you, no. Maybe to him it's masterpiece. For you, it's boring. I tried beef Wellington, I did not like it. I like tomahawks, better. But that's another day's discussion. But I'll end it with this point. Fragrance game is a very broad game, and it's expensive. It's about your money. And we are here also trying to make some money and living doing this work, buying fragrances, trying to get popularity, trying to get some numbers, But this is our work. And we buy a lot of fragrance, doesn't mean you also have to. But if your choices are similar as ours, and you have seen last 10 reviews, whatever I've done, I actually said things that are matching your experience, then you can trust me. Otherwise, I will tell you, don't trust. Trust your nose, trust your instincts. Okay, have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, I made some sense. Keep those points in mind, and be wise in spending your money, hard earned money. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye bye.